See, before you just jump in there and get your roller out and stuff, you just think about your project. Step by step, you're going to get it done. Get ready, be prepared, because I'm going to be jumping in between using a paintbrush and then using a roller. And then when I get done with the roller the first time, I've got to let stuff dry. Then I'm going to get back in the roller. But I'm not going to start washing my paintbrush out every time and washing my roller out every time. I've got little bits of plastic here, and I've already cut the plastic bag up. So see, I've got little pieces to put my roller in, to put my wet paintbrush in. And once you do that, you don't have to wash your roller out every single time. You see what I'm saying? And it works out really good, especially if you're going to get back into your paintbrush, you know, a half hour later, an hour later. You can do that. You don't have to keep washing your paintbrush. Because the thing I don't like is if you've only got one paintbrush and you're using that and then you're washing it out and then 20 minutes later you need to use that paintbrush again, guess what? The bristles are still wet. They're not dry all the way. And then you're like, oh, do I have to wait until the paintbrush is dry all the way before I start painting again? And that kind of thing. So, you know, I'm gonna get all set up and ready to go before I get my paint out. Have everything ready. And like I say, I am not a professional painter, but when I get done with my jobs, it looks like a professional painter did it. I mean, as for that matter, I've repainted everything inside this condo, and you'll see it on different episodes previous on these where I'm painting all of the ceilings I painted, all the walls I painted, all the door frames, the door jambs, the baseboards, the window stools, all that kind of stuff, and I get it all down. I had to cut everything in along here, and I show you how to cut in the ceilings. I show you how to cut in door casings. I show you how to cut in the top edge of the baseboards and the bottom edge of the wall color and all that kind of stuff. All that's on my channel. I try to show you everything so that you can get better as you go, okay? And so now I'm just going to get ready and do what I do on these doors. Now here's something I wanted to point out to you. I used to, like on door edges and cutting in ceilings and stuff, I used to just use a regular throwaway paintbrush. That's what I call this. I don't throw them away after I use it one time, but I use it for other things and for when I first dip into the paint and stuff and clean off the paint can. I'll use something like this, rinse it out and things like that. But I would not recommend using something like that on doors or door frames or stuff like that, because what happens is you get little bits of the hairs coming out, and every once in a while it'll come out, and like I noticed it last time I painted some door frames or something, and I looked back later and I thought, son of a gun, what is that? And there was a couple little strands of this in there, and it's like, okay, do I peel it out? If I peel it out, then I have to touch up the paint and that kind of stuff. And so that's another reason why you want to get something nice. Plus if you get something nice, it holds quite a bit of paint and stuff. And I'm going to end up using this one. And see, this is my old one, and look at this. After a while, look, see, this whole thing came out. And I'm just going to have to be careful with it and hold it as I'm painting. But what I need to do, and I thought I did before, is put some caulking in there, construction adhesive or something inside of there, and push this back in there and glue it in so I can keep using it, because this is a perfectly good paintbrush still. I've kept it in pretty good shape. It's quite a few years old, but it still has tons of life left on it. I like using this, and these are not cheap. Go to the store. You don't want to buy something really chintzy that comes with a whole set of things, because your paint job's only going to be as good as your tools are. This thing here probably costs, I don't know, between $15 and $20 just for one. And you know, when I got this was about $10, and I could use that. See, I just have to decide, and this kind of gives me good control. It'll hold lots of paint. That's all I need on there. I don't need to use the fatter paintbrush if I don't want. I could do this, you know, to get the inside of that, and I might. Okay? I just might use that. So you decide, get the materials you need and the tools you need, and do it right. Now before I start getting ready with my painting, remember I said I have to paint this edge. After I paint this here, but you don't want, on this door, on this side, you don't want to get done with this and paint this edge and then try to flip the door around, because your hand's going to be right here, right? You don't want to wait for this to dry until you flip it, because it's just going to take longer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint with my paintbrush. I'm going to do everything, you know, on the surface. I can hit the top, I can hit that top edge and stuff where I need to, and hit other things on the surface, but nothing on the edge. And then after I flip it, then I can do all this on the other side of the door, and then I can do this. And see, I can just pull the door out like that, and if I need to hit it, I can look at that and hit all of the dark marks, you know, on the edge, up from here down to about there, and make sure I don't have any runs. Then I can lean the door back, and then I can sit here and get this edge all the way on everything. Then after that gets dry, then I can start getting my paint roller out. Do you see what I mean? Everything has its sequence, remember, and get her going. I wasn't going to show you this, but anyways, I like using this little plastic deal with the lip. They have different kinds, but I like to use it. That way when you pour, it doesn't fill up on this edge. It doesn't run down the side of your paint can. And plus, if you do pour, you don't want to pour down the front edge of your paint can, in case later on you think, hey, because if you do, then you want to wipe that off with your paintbrush. Now all of a sudden you forget what color of your paint that you use. And if it's a special mix, sometimes they have a label on there and stuff. And this one, I don't think they have a label, because I got it right off of the shelf. Had them make, you know, shake it, and this was the whitest interior semi-gloss enamel latex paint that they had, and so that's the color that I'm using. Okay, and it's still in really good shape. This happens to be almost a full can. I don't have any bad little globs of paint in here or anything. So I'm going to mix this up, you know, maybe a couple minutes or so. And you want your paint not to be too runny. You want to get all of your stuff mixed up properly. And if this is old paint, if you're getting all the way down to the bottom, you have to do that. But you may get chunks in your paint and stuff if it's old. And that's why you need those strainers. I don't have a strainer. Next time, next time I go to the store, I'll have to remember to get a paint strainer. Just whenever I need it, I'll have it. Because if I needed it right now, I'd have to kind of pick little bits out of the paint, or if I see something on the door, then I have to pick that off and then do that whole section again and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to really do that. Okay. And so I always, even with this edge, I still like to keep it on the back side in case I drip anything off of here. It's dripping on the back, and so it doesn't cover up the name of your paint. Okay. And like I said, I got the paint trays, and I just keep reusing them. I don't have to clean them out every single time. This one I happen to use with the white semi-gloss paint before for painting some doors. The last thing I did, and so that's just what I'm going to use. You don't have to throw these away every single time. This thing, look, this thing is probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. Look, it looks almost brand new, because I never put paint in there, because then I got to clean it out of there. It's way better to get little inserts. See, here's a brand new insert, never used before. This one's when I use some gray for the inside. And here's another one, gray on the inside. Here's another, look at that, that's a brand new one too. So I'll put that down here with my brand new ones, and I've got this one. So I'm good to go. Okay, and I'm just gonna pour in there, and I can dip and go from that for my paint. I also have a little container like this. Put my hand on there, put the paint in here, and dip and go, and just hold it there. And if I was doing ceilings, cutting in ceilings and stuff, I would use this. And then the idea is you only put so much paint in. You don't want to put too much because you don't want to dip. When you dip your paint in, you don't want to dip your paint in all the way in your bristles. You only need to get your bristles wet down to about here. No sense getting it way up here. This is where you're painting, not down here. The further you get up to here, then it gets all clogged up with paint. Then it's harder to clean out. And next time you paint, this is all filled up. This is all filled up. This is all filled up. Pretty soon, you don't get this nice and flowy. You know what I mean? And see, I don't know how many times I've used this paintbrush, but I try to be careful not to go about any further than that, and then clean it out the best I can after that. And this is how you hold this with your hand underneath here, just like how he's doing it. You don't want to hold this like that. Your wrist is going to get so sore. You just put it under there, and away you go. This works good, but because I've only got a few places to paint up high, I'm just going to do it right out of my paint tray. Okay, and then I'll use the paint tray. I'll use the same paint tray, and I don't have to put much paint in it. And then I'll use the same paint tray for when I get ready to use my roller. I've got my roller cover here. I don't have any paint in here yet, see? I just put it on there, and then I'm gonna dip and go right from here. I'm gonna dip a little bit in there, and then I'm gonna kind of clean it off and get it nice and even on these ridges on here. That is kind of like your paint grid. And then your paint actually lives from here to about there. You don't have to fill this all the way up or anything like that, you know. A little bit as you go. Hey, if you never painted before, that's okay. Try a project like this, and you know, I think you'd surprise yourself by how well you do when you start getting in there, getting to paint.